Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, episode 3 in our series, Your First Contest. We're going to talk about now the day of the show. It's backstage, it's happening. They're lining people up, and what can you expect? And especially Adam, because the difference between venues and what it even looks like, what the stage may be like. It could be risers in a hotel ballroom. It could be a massive stage on a theater. It could be a lot of different things. But that also will then dictate what the backstage area looks like. So what can you expect, or what should you be thinking about for your first contest as soon as they say, okay, man, you're up, get backstage?
Yeah. So when you go backstage, it's really important to understand, even though you've been called, it could be a long time until you're on. So it's good to maybe glance at the stage, see who's on. And let's say if you're in like bikini B and bikini A is about to go on, that your butt better be back there really quick. But if you're in H class and they have A, even if they're calling you, you have plenty of time. You may not want to pump up just because you've been called. So you're essentially timing your pump up as best as you can. This actually is a good time to, there's a person back there who gives roll call. So he's the one calling the numbers. You don't want to bother the heck out of them. They have a pretty stressful job making sure everyone's there. But it doesn't hurt to just go up and ask and say, hey, like, what class is this that's lined up right now? And most of the time, this person's very loud, so you should be able to hear them, but you may want to stay close near that roll call area just so you don't miss any commands. Don't have your headphones in or anything like that. And then just at that time, kind of have everything ready, things that we talk about in prior episodes, salt, candy if needed, pump up bands. Also, don't expect for them to have things like water or water fountain or even having bands. A lot of these backstage areas are pretty empty once you get there. So I would say that's the biggest expectation. Secondly, once you're behind stage, you're going to meet the expediter. He's going to briefly go over how he wants you to perform on stage in terms of how many seconds you get in your routine. If you're being compared first and then routines next, if you're standing on a line. This varies a lot state by state. So it's really important to pay attention to those expediters. So I know going to contests in Florida are typically just a little different than Ohio. So it's, you really do want to pay attention to the expediter because the whole flow of the stage revolves around him and what he says or her.
Mm-hmm. And depending on some of the venues, that they may have backstage monitors, so you may be able to actually see and hear what's going on the stage. So, listening to the MC or the head judge kind of call things out. That's a great advance in some organizations. But one more thing that I would even just say from a little bit of a social psychology perspective is, understand that there is a flow and this is going to happen. If you feel lost or you don't know what's going on, that not only, ask questions, but just be prepared to go with the flow. I mean, realize, thousands of people are doing this every single weekend. These people have run shows before. And so if you just, take a breath, just realize this is your first time, you're going to get a lot of experience. That's helpful. But this is also one reason why it is nice to have a coach backstage if you can have one. That's another set of eyes and ears. And if you have to be somewhere where you're listening for instructions, you can always ask your coach or your friend. Again, a coach's pass could be a spouse or a friend. Hey, can you go get me some water? Can you go do this? Can you go ask this question? So that can take a lot of stress off of you as well. But for the next our final 2 episodes in the series, we're going to talk about what to expect now from an organizational standpoint for the pre-judging and the finals. So we are intentionally not giving you all the details about, peaking and drink this, eat that. Those are in other series we have ad nauseum. So I know we're over 400 episodes by now, tons of things that you guys can look at for those details. But stay tuned as we wrap this up in the next 2, talking about your stage time at your first show.